Good morning, children. Today I'm start with Mendel's experiment on pea plants. Actually, already in my last class I have discussed with you that hereditary is the branch of biology in which characters are conducted from parents to offspring. This is what branch of biology called hereditary, isn't it? So, how the characters are transmitted from one generation to another generation. That many of you or none of them are aware about it. How characters are transmitted from one generation to another generation before Mendel's experiment on pea plant. After the work of Mendel's experiment on pea plant only, he concluded that something has to be there which are very small, responsible for inheritance of character from one generation to another generation, and this very tiny small particles are called as genes. Okay, Mendel's theory of inheritance, known as the particulate theory, establishes the existence of minute particles or hereditary unit or factors, which are now called as genes. So, he performed an artificial pollination or cross pollination experiment with several true breeding lines of pea plants. Okay, actually pea plant, its scientific name is Pisum sativum, and due to many reasons, Mendel selected Pisum sativum for his experiment. And what is true breeding? The true breeding is nothing but it is always doing self pollination and produce same stable trait from parents to offspring. That means what are the traits are present in the parents will be inherited to the offspring exactly like Xerox. Okay, so we cannot find any difference in the or any variation in the offspring produced by the cross of pure breeding. So pure breeding is always produce the young one with the same character. Why? Because the pure breeding will not mix with any other different varieties of plants. Okay, because because of self pollination, you know what is mean by self pollination. So in that case, Mendel caused two different pure breeding, that is called what? Cross pollination or artificial pollination done by Mendel. Okay, so when he crossed the two pure breeding like a tall and a dwarf plant. Tall is one kind of pure breeding variety and dwarf is another kind of pure breeding variety. When he crossed these two pure breeding variety, he is getting an F1 generation, and all the F1 generation will be tall. None of the dwarf plant he observed in the F1 generation when he was crossed the pure breeding. Okay, and he got confusion that whether the dwarf genes for dwarf character will be inherited to the F1 generation or not. Okay, so actually he crossed tall plant and dwarf plant. So when he crossed both the tall and the dwarf and they produce young one, all the young ones, if the tall and the dwarf are mixing, genes of tall and dwarf are mixing, what will be the result? All are medium height plant we can see. But here only he observed tall plant, no medium height, no dwarf plant he observed. Okay, so he got a confusion and again he want to conclude it whether the genes for dwarf are inherited to the F1 generation or not. For that he did a self pollination of F1 generation. So when he did a self pollination in F1 generation, out of 4 plants, 3 plants are tall and 1 plants are dwarf. So from that he concluded the gene for dwarf is inherited to the F1 plant but will not be expressed. The gene which is expressed in the F1 generation are called dominant gene, and the character which are not expressed in the F1 generation are called recessive character, or the genes are called recessive genes. This what the overall experimental reactions has taken place in Mendel's experiment. Okay, so let's enter into the text, children. Pure breeding lines. What is pure breeding lines? Pure means it has undergone continuous self-pollination. So pure breeding always undergone self-pollination, and because of self-pollination it produces stable trait inheritance from parents to offspring. No new characters will be appeared in the offsprings. Only stable traits or characters appeared in the offsprings from parents. Mating within pure breeding lines produce offspring having specific parental trait that are constant in inheritance and expression for many generations. Pure line breed refers to homozygosity only. Fusion of male and female gametes produced by the same individual, that is pollen and agar, derived from the same plant, is known as what? Self-pollination. That is the fusion of male and female gamete, that is pollen grain of male gamete and egg is the female gamete. Both are derived from the same plant. If both the gametes are derived from same plant, then it is known as self-pollination. Self-pollination takes place in Mendel's pea plants. Okay, actually the Pisum sativum usually do self-pollination only. It will not do cross-pollination. So Mendel artificially he did cross-pollination in pea plant. How he did a cross-pollination? The experimenter can remove the anthers before fertilization and transfer the pollen from another variety of pea to the stigma of flowers where the anthers are removed. Okay, in simply how he did the cross experiment. First he take a flower, in that before fertilization, because it's a self fertilization plant, you know. So in the plant which he has taken, in that first he removed the anther before fertilization. That means before dehiscence of anther, he removed the anther from particular pea plant, and after that, so now the plant has only the gynoecium, that is ovule part. So next he removed another one plant, that means dwarf plant. From a tall plant he removed the anther, and then from the dwarf plant he has taken the anther. From the dwarf plant he has taken the anther and transferred to the emasculated plant. What is mean by emasculation? Removal of anther. The process is called emasculation. So first in a tall plant we have, for an example I am speaking, in a tall plant we have to remove the anther and we have to take a anther produce pollen grains. No, since we have removed the anther from this plant, the egg cannot get any pollen grains. Okay, so artificially he transferred the anther of dwarf plant to the stigma of tall plant. So this is what cross pollination, that is pollens of dwarf plant transferred into the stigma of the tall plant by artificial means. This is called what? Artificial pollination or cross pollination. Then this results in cross pollination, which leads to the creation of hybrid varieties with different traits. Okay, so and which leads to hybridization. Hybridization, you know very well, fusion of character between two different species are called hybridization, and the young ones are called hybrid. So now here Mendel did the hybridization, same species but two different species, different plants. One is tall, another one is dwarf example. Okay, so what will be the result? He get and this process is called hybridization. He has got an F1 generation. Mendel worked on the study of the pattern of inheritance and the principle or laws formulated now constitute the Mendelian characters. The first model organism in genetics, garden peas, Pisum sativum, Mendel observed 7 contrasting characters in Pisum sativum plant. First one is stem length. The gene called as LE. The gene LE is responsible for control of stem length of plant. So here the dominant trait in stem length is tall and recessive trait is dwarf. Next one is part shape. Part shape, the gene control for parts is V and its dominant trait is inflated and recessive trait constricted. And the seed shape, capital R, round is dominant, recessive wrinkled. Seed color L and yellow color is the dominant character, green color is recessive. And flower position, in flower position FA is a gene responsible for flower position, and the flower position either will be in the axial or terminal. If it is in the axial, it is dominant. If it is the terminal, it is called recessive. Flower color capital A and purple flower or white flower. Purple is dominant, white is recessive. Next, part shape, GP is the gene responsible for part color and green is dominant and yellow is recessive. So you can see the 7 characters of Pisum sativum with genes. Okay, so here actually Pisum sativum consists of 7 chromosomes, 7 pairs of chromosomes, 7 pairs of chromosome. In haploid nature, it consists of 7. That means in the gamete, it has only 7 chromosome. You can see in which chromosome the characters which controlled the 7 contrasting character you can see. In the first chromosome, you can see flower color and seed color is the gene for flower color and seed color is present in the chromosome number 1. In chromosome number 2, he did not find any contrasting character in 2 and 3 also. And 4th chromosome, he found 3 characters are present in the 4th chromosome. Part shape, plant height and flower position are present in the chromosome number 4. And in chromosome number 5, part color genes are present. Chromosome number 6 does not have any contrasting pairs of character. And in chromosome number 7, seed shapes are present. Gene for seed shapes are present. And Mendel worked at the rules of inheritance and arrived at the correct mechanism before any knowledge of cellular mechanism. Actually, in his period, there was no knowledge of cellular mechanism. Okay, but Mendel worked at the rules of inheritance and arrived at the correct mechanism before any knowledge of cellular mechanism. DNA, genes, chromosome became available. About this knowledge, all nobody knows. That scientist did not know about the chromosome, did not know about the DNA, did not know about the gene which inherit, nothing they does not have. After Mendel's work only it came to light. Mendel insights and meticulous work into the mechanism of inheritance played an important role which led to the development of improved crop varieties and a revolution in crop hybridization. Mendel died in 1884. In 1900, the work of Mendel's experiment were rediscovered by 3 biologists, Hugo de Vries of Holland, Karl Correns of Germany and Erich von Schermach of Austria. So, his period till 1884 was the period of Mendel, 1822 to 1884 was the period of Mendel, and Mendel died in 1884. In 1900, the work of Mendel's experiment was rediscovered by three scientists who's named as Hugo de Vries of Holland, Karl Krenz of Germany, and Erich von Zermatt of Austria. Terminology related to Mendelism, this is very important. See, there are different terminologies we are using in the Mendelism. Mendel noticed two different expression of trait. Example, tall dwarf. Traits are expressed in different way due to the fact that a gene can exist in alternative forms for the same trait is called alleles. Okay. So, actually there is a character. This character is controlled by a single gene in an individual. So, in Pisum sativum plant, there is a gene for height that is located on the chromosome, isn't it? The gene height consists of two alternative forms. One is tall and another one is dwarf, and which are controlled by alleles, So, if a plant consists of tall, if the plant is tall, it consists of capital T in its gene as alleles. Okay. And if the plant is dwarf, and gene for height consists of small t alleles for height. Okay. So, if character is controlled by gene, the gene consists of a contrasting characters. Say for example, height consists of two contrasting characters, that is tall and dwarf, that we could mention as alleles. Alleles are the things by which we can express it. If an individual has two identical allele of the gene, it is called homozygous. An individual with two different alleles is called heterozygous. Mendel's non-true breeding plants are heterozygous, called the hybrids. Okay. So, genes are expressed in an alternative forms. Okay. Either tall dwarf, another one, the 7 contrasting pair of characters we could observe, not we, and it could be observed by Mendel. Each character consists of two alternative forms, isn't it? Stem height, it consists of two alternative forms, tall and dwarf. Flower position, one is axillary, one is terminal, two position. So, like that, it has two different forms, that is called what? Alleles. If the alleles are present in the same, say for example, tall plant consists of the alleles of capital T, that is called homozygous. As an individual with two different alleles, if it is height, the same height, but it has capital T and small t, and this is called what? Heterozygous tall. If the gene consists of two alleles of the same kind, it is called homozygous. Different alleles of the same kind is called what? Heterozygous. So, then Mendel's non-true breeding plant are heterozygous, called as hybrid. So, always Mendel's non-true breeding plants are heterozygous. True breedings are only true homozygous condition. When the gene has two alleles, the dominant allele is symbolized with capital letter and the recessive with the small letter. So, okay, we are giving a letters for alleles. We are giving a letters for allele. If alleles are dominant, then we can give a capital letter for this character. If an alleles are recessive, we can give a small letter for it. When both alleles are recessive, the individual is called homozygous recessive dwarf pea plant. An individual with two dominant alleles means what? Homozygous dominant, that is capital T tall pea plants. One dominant allele and one recessive allele denotes non-true breeding tall pea plants, that is heterozygous tall. Mendelian inheritance, Mendel's law of heredity. Mendel proposed two rules based on his observation on monohybrid cross. Today, these rules are called laws of inheritance. The first law is the law of dominance and the second law is the law of segregation. These scientific laws play an important role in the history of evolution. Okay. So Mendel proposed two rules based on his observation on monohybrid cross. Okay, Mendel has done two crosses. One is monohybrid cross, another one is dihybrid cross. Okay. Base observation on monohybrid. Today these rules are called laws of inheritance. The first law is the law of dominance and the second law is law of segregation. These are the two laws which was implemented by Mendel's law of heredity. These scientific laws play an important role in the history of evolution. Next, law of dominance. The characters are controlled by discrete unit called factors which occurs in pairs. In a dominant and the dominant and other is recessive. So law of dominance, the characters are controlled by discrete unit called factor, that you know very well, which occur in pairs, isn't it? So this characters are occurred in pairs that we have discussed earlier. One is tall, dwarf. This is one contrasting pair of character. Axillary and a terminal bud, contrasting character. And next one is part color, green, white. This is contrasting character. Part shaped, inflated or constricted or whole. So like that, each gene has its own contrasting pair of characters. In a dissimilar pair of factors, one member of the pair is dominant and the other is recessive. If it is homozygous, both the alleles are same, that we know very well. Each character consists of two alleles in it. The two alleles with the two number has only homozygosity only. It will not have any heterozygosity in pure breeding. So in a dissimilar pair of factors, one member of the pair is dominant and the other is recessive. Okay, and this law gives an explanation to the monohybrid cross. The expression of only one of the parental character in the F1 generation and the expression of both in the F2 generation. It also explains the proportion of 3:1 obtained at the F2. Okay, so when the cross has taken place between the pure breeding tall plant and the dwarf plant, we will take as an example. The character which was expressed in very first, it is called what? F1 generation. It is called F1 generation. For that expression of both in the F2 generation, it also explained the proportion of 3:1 obtained at the F2. Then law of segregation, law of purity of gametes. Alleles do not show any blending. Both characters are seen as such in the F2 generation, although one of the character is not seen in the F1 generation. During the formation of gametes, the factors or alleles pair, separate and segregate from each other, such that each gamete receive only one of the two factors. So a homozygous parent produce similar gametes and heterozygous parents produce two kinds of gamete, each having one allele with equal proportion. Gametes are never hybrid. Gametes are never hybrid, that you know very well. So the law of segregation or law of purity, alleles do not show any blending. If this is what law of purity. That means what? Tall plant will not blend with dwarf gene. Alleles of tall gene will not be blend with alleles of dwarf. So if it getting blending in the sense, what happen? All the F1 generation will be in a medium height. It will not show any intermediate height. Okay. So all the F1 generation will be in the form of tall plant only. So this is what? Purity of gametes. This is what? Purity of gamete. Alleles do not show any blending. Both characters are seen as such in the F2 generation, although one of the character is not seen in the F1 generation. In F1 generation, if we could not see another generation, sorry, wait, F2 generation, although one of the character is not seen in the F1 generation. During the formation of gamete, the factors or alleles of a pair separate and segregate from each other such that each gamete receive only one of the two factors. So, a homozygous parent produce similar gamete, homozygous means capital T, both the gametes will receive only capital T as its gamete. But heterozygous produce two different types of gametes in the heterozygous, capital T, small t. One is one gamete with capital T, another gamete with small t. So, then a homozygous parent produce similar gametes and heterozygous parents produce two kinds of gametes, each having one allele with equal proportion. Gametes are never hybrid. Monohybrid cross. About monohybrid cross, I will discuss with you in my next class, children. Today's portion you will take as a homework and complete and send it to me. Bye.